Hi y'all, it's been a minute. I'm here today with my friend Logan, aka Christy Marie Pata, who is going to be giving my face the proper beatdown that it deserves, and we are just going to be talking a little bit about our family backgrounds as Filipino Americans. I am a first generation Filipino American. I moved to the US when I was 12 years old, and Logan is fourth generation Filipino American from Hawaii. So we're gonna just kind of get into the story of what the differences are like between those experiences, and also kind of leave here being a little bit more snatched than when we came in, right?
I'm not wearing makeup for you, bitch.
So yeah, what's the first step then? Primer, right?
Correct.
We're using the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer.
It's the Milk Hydro Grip Dope.
So we've primed our face.
Since I'm a girly with more discoloration than most,
Yeah.
I like to conceal before I put anything else on and let it dry. And then I put my foundation over that.
I'm like, where do I need to conceal?
Girl,
What are you using to blend?
I don't blend the concealer.
You don't?
I just let it sit before I put foundation over it.
You've never been to the
I've
Philippines,
never
right?
been to the Philippines.
Which of your family, since you're fourth generation Filipino, like who's been to the Philippines?
My great-grandparents immigrated from Ilocos Norte on a steamship or something like that is what I was told.
Wow.
To work in the plantation fields of Hawaii, and my great-grandparents met in the plantation field.
After moving to Hawaii, did they ever go back to the Philippines?
I don't know. Yeah.
Really?
By the time I was like born, my great-grandparents were already in their 90s.
How about your grandparents? Had they ever been to the Philippines?
No.
Really? So probably like your parents' generation hasn't been to the Philippines in either.
No.
Wow. So you could be the first one to go back.
She said trailblazer.
So your grandparents met on the like a sugarcane plantation?
Yeah.
Do you know what the
I think
produce
it
was?
I think it was, they worked in sugarcane and pineapple.
Yeah. Which I think the term was like cicadas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like those were the Filipino migrant laborers that came to Hawaii.
Mhm.
In what decade was this?
They moved in the 20s.
Whoa, that was literally that was 100
Oh my
years
God.
ago.
You're
That's
right.
crazy. Yo, your family should have like a centennial celebration of, I mean, not a celebration, but
Remember.
a remembrance. Yeah, that's crazy.
That is kind of crazy. I never thought about
100
that.
years. To meet someone whose great grandparents were the ones that moved to the US really, really blew my mind, because that's the type of stuff that you hear in, not the textbooks, because I don't talk about Phil-Am history that much,
They
but if you
don't.
look into it, you hear about the cicada workers being
do.
that like wave of migration of Filipinos coming to
Yeah.
the US.
I'm not
So-
using House Labs. Sorry, go ahead. What?
Oh no, so you're gonna put on a liquid foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to use a liquid foundation. I do have this powder one.
Are you gonna blend that?
I don't know, you tell. I don't have a game plan. I was supposed to let you do this, but then I don't
Yeah,
know. I
but-
started stepping up. This is my toxic trait. I don't know when to step back. Also, you're not just Filipino. Do you want to talk about the rest of your background?
I am half Filipino on my dad's side, and my mom is Japanese Mexican, so I'm a quarter Japanese and a quarter Mexican.
And then culturally, you identify most with what?
I'd say Filipino just because I was raised amongst most of, Filipino relatives, my grandmother. But again, it would be more so of like a Filipino American, actually not even Filipino American, it's like a Filipino
Hawaiian experience.
identity.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Hawaiian, but Hawaii.
Oh, okay. Can you say more about that? Like why the distinction between Filipino Hawaii versus Filipino Hawaiian?
I don't identify as Hawaiian,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of people in Hawaii
Yeah.
who are non-Hawaiian, I would say, feel similarly that we don't claim to be Hawaiian, but we
Right.
are just born and raised from Hawaii.
Yeah.
Which we were raised with a lot of the ideals and customs and cultural significance of being from Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people from the mainland kind of just, I'm from California, I'm Californian.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's not the same default.
Which is an important distinction to have, especially in Hawaii, where like Native Hawaiians are a marginalized community in their own
Completely.
home
Wow.
state. Yeah.
It was all stolen.
Right. Boo. Land back. Can you tell me what it was like? Growing up there, like what going to school was like, what your classmates were like? I was never in an environment where I was the majority, or I was
Yeah.
surrounded by other Asians, like in a big way.
Yeah, I'd say most of my classmates are all primarily Asian.
Would you say like your classmates, your schoolmates, like were they also like fourth generation Filipino, or like had their family been in Hawaii for generations?
Yeah, I think there's a good mix. Honestly, a lot of us were third or fourth generation. A lot of my friends are either third or second, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a very sad but true like discrimination, if you will, against folks that just moved from the Philippines.
So
like,
that would have been me.
We would have been in the hallway.
What do you mean? What does that mean to be in the hallway?
They had their own. So like a lot of the kids that were from the Philippines had their own hallway at school.
Okay. Oh my god.
Because they all like, you know, like bonded over being from the Philippines. But then there was a lot of us, well me, like not born in the Philippines. We were like the majority over the folks that were from the Philippines.
Yeah.
And so we like barely interacted. It was really weird.
So it was kind of like segregated in a way.
It was really sad. They would get made fun of for like their accents and stuff.
Aw, yeah, that
So,
was me before.
It was like heightened because like, yeah, we look the same, but we're different.
Right.
It was very strange.
Okay, but question back to the makeup. So I put on some concealer under my eye. Should I put on some powder foundation on my face right now?
Just to conceal like the redness.
Okay,
perhaps.
okay. So then you moved to Seattle for college. And so what was moving to a state like Washington? Like,
Wild bit.
yeah, say more. Like how different was it from Hawaii?
I guess being in Hawaii, obviously you're in its own shelter bubble.
Yeah.
In which I never really thought of race critically or analytically in any means. Never had to really think about it as like the majority privilege, if you will.
Right, yeah.
But as soon as I went to Seattle, clearly I was no longer the majority.
Right.
And that shook me like hard.
Yeah.
All throughout high school and school, I would be like pretty active with participating in class and like feeling confident in myself and like, yeah, really excelling in my own comfort. But then when I went to the Seattle white majority, just feeling very inferior to all my peers, regardless if they were white, and not feeling comfortable or confident to speak because I really doubted my smarts.
You had like a case of like imposter syndrome.
Yeah, honestly.
I 1000% relate with that. Moving from the Philippines to the US when I was 12, like, you know, like to your point, you are the majority and you never have to think about what it's like being a minority. And then all of a sudden you become a minority and your whole experience kind of starts to not revolve around it, but you're just so much more cognizant of it.
Yeah.
And it really does shake the way that you navigate the world.
Correct. Yeah.
What are we gonna do next?
So I like to use contour powders.
Ooh, I wanna get like snatched cheekbones.
I can give you that.
Can you do that for me?
Yeah.
That's one.
Free of charge.
I wanna do the one where it's also like the lines
Goes down
here
here.
too. Yeah, because I want my face to look like
But
my
you
name
also
is
have
Bella
some,
Hadid. What?
You have some facial hair that might interfere with your Bella Hadid moment.
You know what, girl? She gonna be Bella. Don't.
Do you have any questions about what I'm doing?
Well, I guess I'm wondering why you didn't use cream before the powder.
You know, if you wanted cream, you gotta ask me if you wanted cream first.
Do you have the cream contour?
Yeah, I do.
Let's do it. Oh my god, you know what? I have this blush. Maybe you would want to try this. Remember how I told you that I bought a bunch of makeup from the Philippines?
Oh, yeah.
Sunny's brand.
out.
Yeah, do you want to try it?
What color?
Let's show the color. So let's see what it looks like on her face. You know what I really like about this makeup? One, I think it blends really well on
Deeper
like
skin tones?
yeah, because it's a Filipino-owned makeup brand, I feel like the way that they like developed it really kept in mind like the undertones of Filipino olive-y skin.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Drag Race Philippines.
Ooh.
How exciting was that franchise came out last year?
Yeah, I was honestly so pleased to see like, you know, a full Filipino cast.
Yes.
Seeing everyone look just like you on TV.
Yes.
It's like not something that comes by very often.
Yeah.
Especially here.
Right. I really, really appreciated just how they did the show because I think they infused Filipino culture without it ever feeling forced. It never felt like corny to me. Just like the way that they talked about, like, you know, their experience as like queer Filipinos, especially as it pertained to like their relationships with their family. Like I saw that. Or religion. And not even just the sad stuff too, because you know there were those moments, because there was a lot of crying on that season.
I cried.
But there was also a lot of joy in that season too.
Yeah.
Like the humor, the way that they interact with each other.
Yeah.
I really identify with that. And I see like that like interdynamic, even like with my own friends too. So it was so nice to just see that reflected on a platform like Drag Race.
And how important is that as a minority in this country?
Right, yeah. Like what did Bretman Rock say in his speech recently? Where he said like,
people say,
you know,
like,
if you don't
I
see
never
yourself
saw myself on
represented,
TV.
then
Girl,
we'll
change
change
the
the
channel.
channel. Who are some of the folks that like you've looked to that you feel represented in?
I guess the first person I really saw was maybe Manila or
Really?
Raja. I was like a freshman in high school at the time.
Oh wow, that's a really important time to kind of start to look and find representation.
Yeah.
Because that can really make a big difference in your high school experience.
Because even like with Glee, you know, there was like queer experiences, but it was never like something that reflected me.
Right, you're
something
brown.
I like found super connecting.
Right, yeah. This is so pretty. I didn't know that they had a collaboration.
They do.
Two Asian queens.
Plastique and Kimchi. I honestly only use, let me show you. I only use one powder and you can see how fucked up it is.
Let's see. The blush?
Yeah. I don't even care about the highlighter.
Well, it's sort of like, yeah, I know, like, so this is where we're at. We don't know how to feel about it. I thought that it's kind of giving Kesha, and I want to be at least
It's kind of giving
in
Xenon.
Warrior Princess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we
Sharpen her?
not all sharpen?
Like
It's
her
just
thick.
like
She's thick.
she's thick, girl.
She's very pretty.
so much better. So much better. I mean, I know we still need to do some work, but so much better.
Some work. Here, let me just like. How does that feel?
I feel happy with this. I'm very content. I would walk out the house.
I would let you walk in the house like that.
Yeah.
That's cute.
She's so.
She said, I'm gonna go to a rave.
A little bit. A little bit. Well, thank you, Christy/Logan, for
Thank you.
doing my eye makeup today. We will see you in the next video, and don't forget to leave a comment down below.
Ask me a question.
Yeah.
Tell me my ass is fat.
Yes. Okay, and I will leave Christy's socials in the link in bio. Bye.
Bye.